a good practical relations when it comes to what the book wants us to practice, then we say to ourselves, what image or who is carrying us along this line, deviating us from the course of which we are to claim our faith, to the extent that our mental, our mind and approach has changed entirely. I'll give you the main idea of what I'm trying to say here. The example here is look at the book, look at the Bible, look at the history, look at the genealogy, the background, look at the laws, and all the presentations of how the Jewish people, or let's say the Israelis, or those that are seen as the true people who had a good relations with the Almighty God, what we are supposed to believe as the Almighty God, and His name to be Jehovah. Now, as we are talking in the back of our mind, we are also talking in a sense of what a Jewish man is supposed to think, and today what a Christian is supposed to think. You're supposed to think that Jehovah is the Almighty God. That is what you are supposed to think. If you claim Christianity, you claim Judaism, and you are a Jewish person, or you are a Christian, you must see yourself as thinking along the line that Jehovah is the Almighty God. That is your battle. That is your ultimate inspirational weapon to reach out, to present yourself at all times, to make others believe that He is the Jehovah. Now, when it comes to the evidence to prove that you don't probably have it, you only have verbal words to explain to people, to convince people, convincing statement to tell them that this is logically true, isn't it? And then if that person sees logically, he accepts it. During that time also, those who claim the same Jehovah had evidence that backs what they do. They use that as a weapon, a strong weapon to solidly guide them through the message or the sort of agenda that they are supposed to carry out, the propaganda they are meant to sort of spread out to their fellow people. But this is one thing that tells us that we are actually in a different way presenting the thing with no evidence or no strong, solid sign to prove what we claim, but we do it anyway. Now, that is one thing we have to consider. If we go about the laws, you realize that the laws that has been written there, very much condones certain things, but do not condone certain things in regards to today's way of life. We see what do you call it? Laws in the book in those times, or the book of the prophecies regarding today as well, telling us laws that today we actually live contrary, to what it is. And there are so many instances that we can really compare as times goes on. When I look at these things, and I give you that, that go ahead for you, the challenge that you should also look into it. And probably if you are a Christian, you don't have to look at it, look into it, because actually you are in that group. You're already in that group of Christianity. You are in that group. You have to think along the line of which you have been told to accept. You have to see that, okay, Jehovah is the Almighty God, and His laws are for you to what? Abide and embrace and accept and go along the line. You can't deviate and do something else. It makes no sense. It makes you look stupid. Son? It's like you found your God, but you are bound to let it be known that it is the Almighty God. You live in your own snare, and you don't even get it, that you are living in your own snare. But as a result of that, your curses is going on to another person who is not ready even to sort of, you are not even ready to see the logic that is being pulled out of it. Now, is there God? Is there Jehovah? There may be so many things in life There may be Jehovah, there may be Allah, there may be Buddha, there may be all that. If you build up an image right now, and you sort of give some sort of respect and worship towards that very image, a spirit will dwell into that image, and it shall be forever your God, or your snare, or whatever it might be. And you are bound to sort of keep doing the very things that you have sort of introduced to this spirit. You are bound to sort of keep the trend of which you have already started, because the spirits are, it's almost to me like the spirits are always there waiting for man to make the attempt of worship, the attempts of surrendering our lives to them. Because we are vulnerable, we have nowhere to go, we don't really have a clear sense of path of which we want to go. And if you are not the type that have got the IQ and the wisdom to sort of do things, you are bound to find an external divine intervention or help in every day of your life. And so it becomes like most people in that status find themselves creating things and inventing things and saying, this is what has been bringing differences to my life. This is what has divinely helped me. The Christianity as we see has actually come from that end. They have built an image. The Europeans, through the Greeks, the Latins, and all the Latins, the Latin and the rest, they have built an image. The image that they have built, that image actually has to stand up to this generation. Now, this generation has progressed, had advanced. Eventually, whether there was Christianity or not, it would have advanced anyway. But it isn't only true Christian people who chose to bring that image up has advanced. Looking at the world, every countries who are not even Christian, and what they are going to call Christianity, claim Christianity as their main source of religion, even has advanced. So it is not really something that you can logically apply to say, yeah, it's because Christianity has made a change into life. No, actually they were blending with businessmen, people who were not into any religion, but deep down was using their mind every day, striving with their mind to achieve things. And they will take up those hard work of these people and present them as their own image. If they say this is a great artist, because it was something that was going on earlier on, they have already got the financial strength to invite into their world anything that would enhance their image. So Christianity invite anything. They were able to buy into the new technology that comes up. But it is not because the technology came as a result of the religion or the wisdom that came out of the religion. Let us be very honest here. Because most people who are very creative and inventive are far from religion. They are far from culture. These are individuals who have got the talent birth by birth, And it is strange to know that if there's such a talent has come out of not necessarily religious or cultural background, but religion will run immediately and cover it up and say, God gave us that. Making claim of everything as being theirs. Because God gave everything. They haven't got the slightest evidence or ever proof to show that this is what God gave them or God did not give. And in such a delusion, we keep on that same pattern. People follow it because people don't even get a chance to discover how it happened or what happened. How many people will know? For over thousands and millions of years, religion and culture has dominated man's life. Investment that has gone into these areas is not necessarily cannot be retrieved back or cannot be taken back. They're already there, and a lot have been taken out of the hands of man because it convincingly put people into the state of fear, and people wanted to secure their life and trusted that investing or putting what they have in that sense. Somebody says sow your money, sow your treasure where your heart belongs, or that kind of statement. And it caught into people's idea, and believing that if you sow into such investment, you invest into such religious or cultural places or cultural means, you are bound to sort of have a secure life when you are dead. You will be You'll be buried in a good place, and at the end of the day, you even enter into heaven, a glorious